Let's talk about how you can create amazing artwork for your releases and for your promo campaigns that's inspired by your most favorite artists in the world. Hey, it's John here at Hyped, and in this video I want to show you a cool little trick in Midjourney. Now you might be wondering, John, what is Midjourney? Midjourney is generative AI for images. It's a text-to-image generator. So Midjourney is a software, an AI software that allows you to type in a descriptive text that Midjourney will then take and translate into an image. And the reason why this is pretty cool and useful for independent artists like us is that aside from making music, we also have to be graphic designers. We have to think about our cover art. We have to think about graphics for merchandise, or maybe other graphics that we want to share on social media because it goes along with the music and the lifestyle that we've created around our music. So having a tool at our hands that allows us to create nearly unlimited visual ideas, it's really powerful. And this is just one example how AI can make our life as independent music artists a lot easier today and free up time that we can spend on making more music or engaging more with our fans. Now, before I jump in, don't forget to hit the subscribe, the like, and the bell icon below so that you can get more videos like this on YouTube on how to reach and get more fans for your music. Now, if this is the first time you hear about Midjourney, you can just go to midjourney.com, sign up for a free trial, and that can get you going. You can experiment with some images. Now, I've signed up for the paid version because I want to use Midjourney more and use it specifically to create cover art for my music. Once you sign up for Midjourney, you'll be directed to Discord. Discord is where Midjourney is actually active, and it is through Discord that you enter image prompts and get images rendered. And what I'm showing you here on my screen is just one of the image generation rooms that exist within Midjourney, where all kinds of users are coming together and you can see them putting in word prompts. For example, here, cute dragon with balloon heart, coloring page, black and white, and then Midjourney responds to all of these prompts with rendering images. Again, it's a text to image generator. Oh, actually, I like this. That looks pretty cool. What was the prompt here? It was vintage used mixtapes. All right, pretty cool. But this image isn't what I wanted to show you. That just came up randomly. Really, what I'm here is to talk about two challenges that I've been struggling with Midjourney and how I've been able to solve this. First challenge is, if you generate images in any of these general image generation rooms, it is virtually impossible to type in a prompt and then go back and find your images. Anybody who has tried Midjourney will probably have that same experience. There's just too many images being rendered every second of every minute of every hour of every day that it becomes very difficult to navigate. But if you are on the subscribed version of Midjourney, what you can do, you can actually open up a private room for yourself, a private server. I want to show you real quick how that works. And the second challenge I had with Midjourney was coming up with prompts that gave me the kind of images that I was looking for. With the text to image AI generator, you hold all the power with using the right prompts, using the right words in order to generate the images that you would like to see. And so I found a very cool trick that allows you to come up with amazing prompts that get you just the kind of image that you're looking for. All right, but first things first. So let's create our private room first so that we're not subject to this flood of images coming through. Although this can be great inspiration, and it's obviously fantastic to see all the prompts that we use to generate these images, it does get confusing. So in Discord on the left side here, I'm going to click on add a server and then create my own server for me and my friends. We're going to give it a name. I'm going to call this demo server, and then we're going to click create. So now the server is ready, but there isn't anything interacting with the server yet. So all I'm going to do is come over to Midjourney, find the Midjourney bot on any of these posts, click on it, and then just say add to server. And it's going to ask me to what server do you want to add it. And I'm going to do the demo server. So authorize it. Yes, I am human. And we're done. So now I have a private room together with a Midjourney bot, and it's only going to be my images and my prompts in here. But how do we use this to create amazing cover art? So I want to show you a cool little trick that I learned about Midjourney. And I'm going to start off in Google here. I'm looking for inspiration for the kind of cover art that I want to create. Now, I make old school house music, a sound that's inspired primarily by house music in the 90s. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type in 90s house music. I'm going to see what kind of images come up. So I see something here with mixtapes. That's pretty cool. I like this color offset. Rave parties, yes, for sure. And I like this one here. This looks pretty cool. So let me click on this one. So I don't know what you'd call it, but I definitely see the association to 90s house music in terms of the color, in terms of the graphics, the geometry. So let's say I wanted to create a cover art like this. I really love this image. Obviously, I can't use this image as a cover art, but I want something that is inspired by this image. How would I do this in Midjourney? If I had to create something like this in Midjourney, I would not know how even to start to describe it because it's abstract, right? I can't just say render a specific person with like a blue shirt or something like that. But what I can do with Midjourney is this. I'm going to save this image here. And then I'm going to go back into Midjourney, my own server. And instead of the usual prompt that you type in, which is basically imagine in order to generate something, I'm going to type in a different prompt. I'm going to type in the prompt describe. And if I type in describe, it's asking me to upload an image. So I'm just going to pull this image over here. And then I'm going to hit enter. What Midjourney is doing now, it's analyzing this image and it's telling me what kind of prompt it would recommend in order to generate an image similar to this one. So look what I found here. It gave me 4 different prompts that I could use. A colorful image with various geometric shapes in the style of crisp new pop illustration. Who would have come up with this? Not me. Kid core, high detail, Memphis design. I mean, it would have been impossible for me to figure this out. A person is sitting on a green background with other colorful decorations. I'm not sure. I mean, I do see the face in here. I'm not sure I see a person. An illustration of a shaped figure with Wichita, Texas. I don't know what that is. Tadpole art print by DJ Jack in the style of layered and complex compositions. So truth be told, all of this sounds pretty abstract to me, pretty much as abstract as the image. I would have not been able to come up with this if I wanted to render an image like this. But Midjourney has given us prompts now. And what I can do here now is I'm going to feed those prompts back to Midjourney to render images. So for example, the first one here, I'm going to click on the number 1 here. And this basically allows me to send it back as a prompt. I'm not going to change anything. I could, right? I could change the aspect ratio if I wanted to, but I'm just going to hit submit here and send this image back. And I'm going to do the same thing with all of them. I don't have high hopes in number 2, but let me do it anyway. Number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now I have a chance to see what Midjourney does with each of those prompts. It just takes a couple seconds to render it, and that's it. Midjourney finished rendering all these images. So this was from prompt number 1. This was from prompt number 2, prompt number 3, and prompt number 4. So there's actually some really cool stuff going on. I really do like version number 3 over here. That definitely hits the right, graphic sensibility. And I also like this one here. This looks probably closest inspired by this image because it has all these 3D shapes randomly placed together in a space. So now you have 2 options with any image that you like. You can ask Midjourney to create more variations of it, or you can ask it to upscale it, meaning increase the resolution so that it's high enough for you to use it as a cover art. I'm going to show you both. So let's look at this one here real quick. I think the version that I like best is version number 3 over here. So if I wanted to have Midjourney create more variations of this image, I can click on V3 here. V stands for version and 3 because it's the 3rd image in this matrix. So I'm going to click here, and now Midjourney is going to render more versions of this one. And when I come down here to this image that was generated, I do like this. I think this could be ready to go, but I want it in larger. So I'm going to click on U3. Again, 3 because it's the third one, and U because I want to up-res this picture. Now Midjourney goes back to rendering these images, and let's give it a few seconds to just complete this. And we're done. All right, so first of all, we have the high-res version now of the image that was generated by the fourth prompt. And I can click it here. You can see the image in full resolution. You can also open it in your browser. This looks great. This would be good to go. I could now, add my artist name, the song title to it. I could, crop obviously out a square and use this as a cover art. So this one will be good to go. And let me close this real quick. Here I have the other ones. So let me see. Those are 4 variations. You can see all of them look slightly different. But Midjourney mainly added more detail to this, maybe more detail than I like. So in this case, I'd actually go back. I did like the simple version, the original, the best. So I could up-res this one as well. Scroll down to the bottom. Up-resing usually goes fast. And there it is. Now I have this image also ready to go as a cover art. And what's important for me to point out is you can do this with any kind of image, any kind of artistic style that goes with any kind of music genre, right? You might be looking at this video and you don't necessarily like these images here. That's perfectly fine. But the idea of using a reference image, then using the describe command in Midjourney to have Midjourney recommend prompts that could generate similar images and then feed these prompts back to Midjourney in order to then create these images. It's just a really easy way to do it. And by the way, you can send the same prompt over and over again. So even though prompt number 1 gave me those 4 images here as a selection, doesn't mean that if I sent the same prompt again, I would get the same kind of images. And let me demo this real quick. Let's take the exact same prompt. I'm going to copy it here. And I'm going to manually submit it a second time. So I'm just going to say, imagine. I'm going to add the prompt, return, and I can even do the same thing a second time, the exact same prompt. And what I'm going to get is likely a different take on the same image, different colors, different angles, different shapes, just because the AI interprets it differently each time. All right, here we go. So this just completed rendering, and this is, again, the same command sent twice. And even though they're obviously stylistically very similar, they are not identical images. Each of these images takes a slightly different angle, takes a slightly different approach. Some are a little bit more complex with light and shadow. Some others are more flat. This one even here is more of a 2D collage as opposed to 3D. So it's just a great way to find a prompt that works for the style that you're looking for, sending it a couple of times and generating maybe even the cover art for lots of new singles that you're planning. And one of the things that you could experiment with is taking cover art that you already put out for release. Let's say you really like the cover art for one of your older releases and you're looking to use cover art that looks slightly similar to that. You could upload that cover art into Midjourney and have it generate new versions of this. So Midjourney is a really powerful tool. It can be confusing and overwhelming at first, but with videos like this, I'm trying to make it more accessible and help you get the most out of it in the shortest amount of time. And if you give this a try and you come up with an amazing prompt that you really liked for your music, then maybe copy paste it into the description below. Let me know what your music genre is and let me know the prompt that you use in Midjourney to create cover art for your song. I think it's going to be super exciting to share this. Want to get your music heard on Spotify with AI? I just launched a brand new video training program called the Spotify Growth Switch, where I show you how to start growing real listeners, real fans, and real streams on Spotify in less than 10 minutes using software and AI. I've used the Spotify Growth Switch system to now grow my music to over 7 million streams and tens of thousands of monthly listeners on Spotify. This works for any music genre. It gets you real fans and listeners super fast, and it's extremely easy to set up, literally just like flipping a spotlight switch for your music. Despite using AI, you don't need to know nothing about tech stuff in order to be successful with this. I've had the tremendous privilege of helping multiple tens of thousands of music artists grow their music on Spotify, many of which have grown to much larger numbers, lots more listeners, lots more streams than I have using the systems that I've taught. Makes me so proud of their success. And so if you want to get more real listeners, real fans, and real streams for your music fast using state-of-the-art software and AI, then click the link below this video and check out the Spotify Growth Switch. I can't wait to help you grow your music on Spotify, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.